What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Ivan Calderon, and today we are making a beat. Okay, so let's break this beat down. Now, I knew from the beginning that I wanted this to be a very guitar-driven beat, so I started out with the guitar, I pulled out my Les Paul, and I played this progression right here. Now, the reason you're seeing it in bits like this is because I used a common recording technique called comping, and that's where you record multiple takes of the same part and then take the best parts or the best bits out of each take to create the final take. Now, in case you guys are wondering, that guitar is being ran through a 55 Fender Deluxe emulation from UAD, and that is going into Studio One, running through a decapitator, so adding a little bit of distortion, a little plate, so a little bit of a plate verb, Echo Boy at a quarter note delay, and then finally some micro shift just to kind of whiten it a bit. Now, moving forward, I knew that I wanted some sort of lead for this progression, so I ended up recording a part and then recording it twice actually, and then panned them left and right. So by itself, the lead sounds like this. And then once we add it to the original progression, we get this. Now, the last thing that I did on here was add a third lead, and it was really just kind of like an accent pluck. And by itself, it sounds like this. It's towards the end. So once we add all the guitars together, now, to finish off the melodic section, I added a piano, and the piano is super simple. The whole purpose of the piano was really just to have something underneath the guitars so they could sit on and, you know, have a little bit more depth to it, I guess, if you will. But that piano by itself is doing this. Super simple. But once you add it back in, it sounds like this. Now, moving on to the drums, the first one that I added was a closed hat. Now, I used a popular technique where you lower the velocity of every other note to kind of create this like shaker chugging feel. Now, the interesting thing is that normally you would do that with 16th notes to kind of create that effect, but I used 8th notes instead, and this kind of creates more of like a push and pull, ebb and flow type of feel for me, which I guess kind of helps move the record along, but take a listen. Moving on, we added the kick and the snare. Now, I did layer two snares. The first one was that one there, and the second one was that one there. So once we add the kick and those 2 snares, we get this here. And I did do some rolls at the end with the kick. Now moving on, we added a crash, a second close hat, and an open hat, and that sounds like this. Second close hat. And finally, to finish everything off, we had an 808, and the 808 is playing the most simple notes ever. I did something interesting at the end just to kind of, you know, keep it moving, keep it interesting, but otherwise it sounds like this. Super, super simple until we get to this part here. So once again, the entire beat sounds like this. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already. But I will see you guys on the next one.